before the chimers depart, I wanted to have a chance to introduce them. Their names are in the program that we received. It would be nice to say that the name of Jane Rhodes slipped out of the computer somehow. She's not on there, so we're going to have that too. They wanted me to let you know that these water chimes were made in Britain, Pennsylvania, and were donated to us in the memory of Anna Schweitzer. So these are our chimers, and we thank them. We'll be back in a little bit. We'll go give them anything that might chime, please turn those off now. Bathrooms are up. You can go out either set of doors and down that hallway. And afterwards, there's a reception downstairs. If you have difficulty with stairs, there is a stair chair, and we'll make sure somebody is there to help you with that. There is a basket in the back for free will donations that will go to the Hockanum Valley Ringers. And I think that covers it. So the last thing I want to say is we are honored and pleased that the Hockanum Valley Ringers are here under the direction of Larry Rudinski. I have Staley, so I apologize. And we are, so enjoy the concert. There's more to come, and please feel free to stay for refreshments afterwards. And thank you so much for coming.
maybe our 4th concert out of 8 that we will be presenting. That was obviously Joy to the World. In selecting today's concert, I tried to pick pieces that I love to play, and most of them I have played, and that would hopefully be appealing to the audience. Carols have their roots in French and Anglo-Norman culture, originally meaning a dance song or circle dance accompanied by singing. Most carols were pagan in nature when they first started off, and it wasn't until the late 12th and early 13th centuries that the Italian Catholic friar, Francis of Assisi, utilized what were canticles or songs in his nativity plays to tell the story of Christmas. Many carols have their roots in European countries, and today's carols reflect the choral variations of the medieval times, where you had the traditional settings of verses with refrains. Joy to the World dates back to 1719 and was written by Isaac Watts, who was considered the father of hymnology. It wasn't until around 1839 that Lowell Mason set Watts' lyrics to music. Lowell Mason became a very important composer of church music. Our next carol, Coventry Carol, dates back to the 16th century, named after the city in England. It was taken from a mystery play entitled The Pageant of Shearmen and Tailors, which depicts the story of Christmas as told in the Gospel of Matthew and the Massacre of the Innocents. You will hear 2 melodies presented in this carol, the main theme, and in the middle of the song you will hear What Child Is This? Cleverly introduced on the chimes. Coventry Carol also employs what we know as the Piccadilly third. Simply put, you take a minor chord and then change the same chord to major. This compositional technique was used throughout the whole song, as you will hear. This is Coventry. We go from a mother's lament to a lovely Christmas carol featuring two beautiful songs, On This Day Earth Shall Reign, and God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, which is intertwined with the original carol juxtaposed above it. The lyrics to the fourth verse encapsulate the essence of the song. On this day, angels sing, with a song earth shall reign, praising Christ, heaven's King, born on earth to save us. Peace and love he gave us. Hockanum Manual was originally written in Latin sometime in the 12th century. Although it is not known who wrote the words or music, but the melody is believed to be of French origin. The Latin was translated to English by John Mason Neal in 1851. The title comes from Isaiah 7:14. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Emmanuel in Hebrew is for God with us. But by the way, to welcome the Advent season with this beautiful arrangement by Joel Rainey and Arnold Sherman. after such a very intense piece of music that was quite difficult for us to ring. With 3 bells in a hand, makes it quite challenging. So, what's light, what's upbeat, and being the Hanukkah season, I decided to pick so the dreidel. I have a little dreidel and Television as well. How many bell ringers do we have in the audience? Oh, it's not a trick, but I'm not going to make you come up and perform. No bell ringers? Oh, proudly, thank you. Anyone else? So there are actually 15 of us. We have 2 wonderful people who joined, Megan Ferrari, and in the back is Marsha Bangsari, who's been coming to rehearsals. If someone is away, someone is sick, in her busy schedule, she has 2 beautiful children, a new one this past summer, so she decided to get out of the house and come bring, which was a wonderful thing. Thank you to her husband for letting that happen. And hopefully she'll join us in the spring and do a couple concerts. Here's the letter. What I would like to do is introduce our ringers. We'll start from this end. They can tell you who they are, where they're from, and what they might do during their daytime job.
I'm David. I've been playing bells for years now, and I work down in Park Market in Manchester.
And a college.
Yeah, I go down.
And then the very end. Oh, you can do better than that.
I've been playing bells forever, and I enjoy it a lot.
I'm Peggy. I'm from Manchester, and I work at. I'm Megan. I'm from Simsbury, and I'm a special ed.
I'm Colin from Manchester, I've been playing many years.
I'm Carol, I'm from Manchester, and I've been playing for years.
I'm Sylvia from South Windsor, and I've been playing bells for 32 years.
I'm Lisa from Newington. I've been playing for 10 years.
I'm Larry Bernanski. I'm the director of Hockanum. I'm a band director by daytime. I work with 3 different handbell choirs, so it keeps me busy. And we'd like to continue with our next piece called In the Bleak Midwinter. Well, last spring, I received a phone call from Judy Pedersen interested in collaborating with us and doing chimes with bells, since she had a wonderful set of chimes donated to this church. So we talked, and I came up this summer during one of the storms we had. It actually hit my coast. I'm from Gales Ferry, actually. So it really came through, and I called. I said, "Are we still on? Do you have power?" She said, "Yeah." So I came up. It started off cool, and for 2 hours, these wonderful people on chimes put up with me. I took them through the routines, and it was just a wonderful experience. And then I had a chance in about mid-November. We said, let's do a piece together. And I came and I worked with the group a little bit, some more, and then we rehearsed last Monday together for the first time. And the piece we're doing is In the Bleak Midwinter, which is a tune based on a poem written around 1872 by Christina Rossetti and set to music by Gustav Holst in 1904. The song is entitled after the first verse, which describes the physical setting of the birth of Christ. In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan. Earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, in the bleak midwinter long ago. You'll hear the piece start off with bells, and in the midsection you will hear chimes, played by the first and 3 chimes. Before we play our next selection, do you have any questions for us? Yes. About 10 to 12 pounds. That's a favorite question, by the way. Always a popular one, thank you. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Okay, the chime, if you look at it by its profile, you want to know what the difference is between the handbell and the chime. Made mostly of brass, so you're going to get a different sound. It looks basically like a tuning fork, and the hitting device is called the clapper that we have for the chime and the bell. So when you ring it, it doesn't want to work. I'm glad I picked this one. There we go, that's better. So it has a much more mellow sound. And it's a great way, thank you, to introduce children to a handbell choir. We start with chimes because they are, first of all, a lot cheaper, a lot lighter, more manageable for them. The bell, same bell, totally different sound. And as you heard in the last piece, when it's combined together and other pieces we have done, what a beautiful contrast in the sound. Yes, we have a question over here. We wear gloves to protect the finish on the bells because it will tarnish the bells. Other questions? And we don't need gloves for chimes. That's another good thing. It cuts back on the laundry. Other questions? Yes, sir.
What's the largest group you've ever?
5 octaves. The group I have, my church group is a 3-octave group. So when I started this group last January, and when the position came open, I went, "Oh, I would like to do this." Because what we start with is 3 octaves, and then we move from 3 octaves, we go up to the 4th and the 5th. So we move from the center outward, and of course it gets bigger and more costly in both directions, believe it or not. This single little bell is about $250. Yeah, so you can imagine what the big guy in the bucket says. Yes? The oldest, I'm not sure. The 3 octaves have been around. These bells belong to Trinity Lutheran Church. We own the 5th octave, and the big chimes were donated as well to us. The 5th octave were graciously donated to us, and so were the chimes. So I think they've had bells for 25 years. Unfortunately, I'm new at it. Probably 10, 11 years I've been doing it. I never dreamed that I'd be directing handbells. I first heard handbells when I was in junior high school. About 7th grade, I was attending a church bazaar, and I heard this magnificent sound. When you first hear it, it's very alluring. And so I went and watched it and went, "Oh, I never really doing that." I went, "Okay, let's go on to the food section." So, and then someone came to my middle school and did a workshop with the students. I went, "Oh, I've got to learn this now." And so there was an opening, and that's how I first started playing the big bells like David did. And then directed it at my church. And the rest is history. So it's just a wonderful experience. Yes, sir.
I'm sitting on the end here, I'm watching these two ladies here. How do they keep track of the bell?
I threaten them if they don't. It's when you look at the music, it's like looking at a piece of piano music. So each person, even though we have 13 ringers at a given time, you have to think of it as one instrument, like a piano. You take keys off the piano, you're in trouble. So we need all the bells represented. So each one has their set of bells that they're responsible for. And they have to find it. So unlike band music, orchestra music, where you have a flute part, saxophone, violin parts, you have to go looking for your notes. That's a good question. Any other questions? Yes, sir. that's a good question. If you start off, especially on chimes, and I suggest you do that, a good month, you should adapt to reading music. And you start only with your own chime. So you might have B and C, you might have E and F. So and you stay in that spot so you get used to playing those notes all the time. And then a lot of church groups, this is how community groups start. The church groups, and then they want to expand and do more advanced music. So that's where a lot of the community groups have come from. That's a good question. We have cases that we keep them in, yeah, to protect. And they're heavy. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I noticed we have like more than one way. You hold them, and then put them down and sort of
Yes. Right. Underneath the coverings is foam. 4 inches of foam. And what we actually do, and what you heard, is we punch the bell into the foam, and that protects the bell. We don't do it beyond the lower bells because we don't want to crack them. So that's one technique. So there are many techniques that are done on traditional instruments that we can also do on handbells. And I'm always learning. It's a great experience. You saw them in the beginning of Hockanum Manual. They were doing what was called suspended mallets, where you're holding it and malleting it. And then you can also do the mallet on the table as well for a different effect. You can pluck the inside of the clapper down, like it gets like a pizzicato effect. You can do rolls on it. So basically any technique, we can do vibratos on it, anything you want. So there are a whole host of techniques. Yes, ma'am?
Do you have any CDs?
There is one that was made, 2-3 years ago. If you would like one, you could go to our website, hbringers.org, and there's contact information if you're interested in doing one. And that's something in the future I want to do with this group is make CDs. Yes, ma'am?
The different variations that you use to play the bells, are they specifically marked in music?
Yes, they are. There's a marking for each articulation, as we call it, or special effect.
That would be unique to this particular.
Yes, it is. Just like in traditional music. No. They're tempered just like a piano is. If you get them refurbished, then you got to be careful not to do that too many times, where they put them back in the lathe, and, or the metal starts to thin out and changes the whole tuning.
When there's the next concert?
Next Saturday, we're doing a repeat performance of this at our home, which is Trinity Lutheran Church in Vernon, on Meadowlark. I usually pass it as I drive up. Oh, there it is. We'd like to yes.
What company makes the...
These are American made. There are 2 American companies, Malmark and Schumerich. Handbells originated in England, in the Whitechapel. They have the leather handles. The trouble is, if they break, you got to send them back to England. So the American handbells are both really excellent handbell companies. We'd like to continue with I Saw 3 Ships. Came Upon the Midnight Clear was written by Edmund H. Sears and first sung at the 1849 Sunday School Christmas celebration in Wayland, Massachusetts. It was set to music by Richard Storrs Willis. This rendition of It Came Upon the Midnight Clear is both beautiful to listen to and to watch. Towards the end, you will hear the tolling of midnight before returning to the melody in the upper bells and chimes. with such a wonderful audience. And please, another round of applause for the First Lutheran Church. There are a few people we'd like to thank. Pastor Jeff Sally, sorry. Trudy Federson, you've done a wonderful job, and we've been in contact with emails, phone calls, and without her collaboration, none of this would happen. So we thank you very much for your Also, the First Lutheran Council, the worship and music committees, all the ushers. Trudy's husband, Dick, has been helping. He's been here helping us get set up. The decorating committee. There's loads of food downstairs as director. I'm also quality control, make sure everything is okay. I can tell you it is. It's a wonderful spread down there. So anyone who helped up in any capacity, we're very grateful to all of you for coming out on what turned out to be a very nice day. There is, as mentioned earlier, a free will offering, and that helps defray the cost of the music that we buy. We don't own a lot. We own our clothing, which is good, our gloves, but anything we were looking towards buying more chimes, the 4th and 5th octave of chimes eventually, getting new table coverings, and the list goes on and on and on. So anything that you're able to contribute is gratefully appreciated. Without any further ado, on behalf of the Hockanum Valley Ringers, we wish you all a very blessed Christmas and a happy New Year. This is Singling Out Christmas. You'll recognize as Carol of the Bells, but it's also Ukrainian. It was celebrated with the Ukrainian New Year, which was in January. So we'd like to play this popular version of Ukrainian Bell Carol Hymns.
off.